Good morning, I am Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business on today's program. Got a lot to cover, and I want to jump straight into it with my friend Tom Taormina. And he's with an incredible organization that has, in many respects, its roots back in NASA itself, called Apollo Business Solutions. And Tom was very involved in that program and brings that experience to every conversation we have. Before we get started on our topic, which I'll have you introduce in just a moment, Tom, kind of give us an overview of what Apollo Business Solutions is all about.
Well, top of the morning, Kevin. Thank you. We've been working for the last 40 years to try and help organizations understand how we went to the moon in 7 years and turn that into success roadmaps for them. It's really kind of interesting that over the last 45 years and 600 companies I've worked with, the business leaders just do not understand how to bring together a group of people and accomplish impossible missions like going to the moon. So keep pushing it and keep pulling it, and we try to make a difference.
Yep. Now tell us about our topic today.
Well, I'm back on leadership. I keep watching the news, looking for some signs that someone in some party or some company is going to exhibit the traits of a leader and take us out of the morass we've been in for the last 6 years. And I'm just not seeing it. It's extremely disturbing that we seem to have manipulators rather than leaders.
Yeah, I like to call them cheerleaders rather than leaders. But yeah, absolutely. Like they're all waiting for someone to show up with a lot of nice rhetoric in the interim, but not much else.
Well, isn't that interesting? What does the rhetoric get us? The rhetoric hasn't gotten us anything. Leaders take charge. They have a vision. They have a set of values, and they're just absolutely relentless in what they do. You and I have talked about this before because you and I get out of bed in the morning, and there's a whole list of things that have to be accomplished before we call it a day. And whatever that innate drive is just missing. I don't know where it vanished to.
Yeah, no question about it. So where do you start with that? I'd like you to, because you've been in business for a long time and you've been involved in cutting edge things since the 1960s. You were, a pioneer in the space program. What set apart the way leadership was done in NASA compared to any other situation you've seen since then?
Well, the mission was clearly defined. We were going to send men to the moon and return them home safely. And everything from there developed around a set of values that said we were going to send them to the moon and bring them home safely, but we also weren't going to kill them, and we weren't going to have any accidents in space. And so every inch of the vehicle and every wire in mission control and around the world, for that matter, was done to a precision that is no longer in existence. We absolutely looked at every detail. We built reliability and safety into everything we did, and it was not a matter of lowest cost or getting it on time or the best quality. All of those things should be done at the same time, and I think that's what's missing today is we can have the lowest cost, highest quality, and have it on time all at the same time.
And how do you envision that happening?
Well, I envision it happening catastrophically. That's the history of our world, where we let things get so far down in the morass that some outside force, another 9/11, only this time much worse, is going to happen to us. And until something like that does happen, we're going to be wallowing around again in our own mess here.
Yeah, well, with that, you had to be watching like I was with interest about one of these terrorist organizations now saying that they're putting their sights on American malls. That seemed like just a question of time, a question of when, not if. But now, they're actually kind of putting a shot over our warning bow. And now you've got ISIS declaring that it's heading to Rome. And I think anyone who would underestimate ISIS isn't looking at geopolitics very closely.
Well, they're not, and we've been so shielded from it, even though we're barraged with information every day. It's really kind of an abstraction to most of us to see that going on, and we go from there to the food channel and don't seem to have any difference in reaction to either one. And the other thing that's bothering me is that as I watch the stock market continue to gain ground and get bigger and bigger, I can just see the world going back to the Ayn Rand theory of Atlas Shrugged, where this whole thing is just going to implode on us. And I hate to be the prophet of doom. I just want everyone to be ready for it. This stock market thing is made up of winners and losers, and it's not going to be long before the losers are everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems to me there's a lot of euphoria and not a whole lot of reality going around the stock market, especially when you look at, how long have you heard the expression, the fundamentals? Well, fundamentally, the United States is $20 trillion in debt. Fundamentally, we are, regulating ourselves out of existence. We have the worst tax environment of any industrialized country in the world. Fundamentally, it doesn't look that good, Tom.
No, it doesn't. And again, I'm one of the most upbeat people you'll ever know, but this business of the stock market, I can't help but believe that the growth, quote unquote, is engineered somehow by some group of people in a master computer. So stand by.
Wow, you're even more cynical than I am. So let's take it back to something we can control, because there's not a whole lot we can do except for on election cycles. And if you're anything like me, you're just as disappointed as I am with each election cycle, no matter how good the results, what they end up doing afterward, how they can just blow an opportunity rather than exploit it. Talking to the individual, what can they do? What should they be doing to change their futures?
I believe awareness is the beginning. People would just look around them and look at their environment and find out what they're contributing to themselves, their family, and their community. I think we go back to the word we used at the beginning this morning, and that's leadership. We need a group of people to take personal accountability for what they're doing, and to say, I'm going to do something different today. I'm going to look at how I can better the environment where I live, not necessarily the physical environment, but the environment of people being happy with their work, people being motivated. What can I do within my own organization to find out how people are self-motivated to do their work, and then create a better environment for them so that they can thrive and prosper?
Yep. Gandhi used to say, be the change. Don't talk about the change, be the change. And that's pretty much what you're advocating, isn't it?
Absolutely. The only human being that likes change is a wet baby.
And boy, does it ever. All right, that's a great note to end on. And Tom Taormina, he's with Apollo Business Solutions. Website is OResidence. That's OReSonance.com. Great as always. This interview, by the way, can be found over there at usdailyreview.com shortly, not today, but you'll find it there shortly. Make sure you check it out and share it with others. Thanks so much, Tom.
Take care, Kevin.
More after this, right here on The Price of Business.